It's one of the biggest fears of parents of newborn babies, sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS. Sometimes it's even called crib death. SIDS is when an infant inexplicably stops breathing while sleeping.
With SIDS, you don't know what happened, what went wrong, what you did. And so it's like when you have another baby, it's like, how do you not be so like stressed and worried over it because you don't know what happened with your first child?
Meet Ebony Burks, a teen mother who lost her first and only child, Kevin Lee Williams III, due to SIDS. He made it to be only 4 months. The cause of his passing leaves her and her family devastated because they have no concrete answer as to what went wrong.
That day was the day he actually made exactly 4 months, and he had his 4-month checkup. He had like some mucus coming out his nose. I went to go pick him up to, take off his pajamas and change his diaper and everything. Something in my heart just told me like, he don't feel right. And he was so heavy, and I just laid him back down and went and yelling for my mom, and then, she came down there and she just instantly was called 911.
When she started yelling for me, I knew something was wrong, something wasn't right. I could tell by her tone, but she kind of just remained calm, but she was like, just come down here now.
In my heart, I have a feeling that's not going to be a good outcome. But then in my mind, I'm hoping for the best.
He was just stiff, and I knew something wasn't right. And he had already called 911, and the operator wanted someone to perform CPR, which I did. And for some reason, I thought that it was helping, but obviously it wasn't. It didn't.
The ambulance, they leave. They do what they can do, then they leave. And I'm like, okay, they're leaving, so obviously something's not right. And the fire truck guys came, and they had an officer with them. And, they were like, sit down, And so I'm sitting down, and they were telling me who they were, and I'm like, okay, let's get to the point. What are y'all finna tell me? And he was like, we couldn't bring him back. The whole world just stopped, and I just felt like I wasn't living a real woman. This did not just happen. They did not just tell me that. And I could just hear my mom start crying, my dad just going crazy, and I'm like, this not real.
I was just crying and yelling. I couldn't even check on her.
It was a lot, especially with everybody knowing. Because it's they're like, what happened? It's what do you tell them? There is nothing, I don't know. And it feels like you saying, I don't know what happened to your child. It's just the worst thing you can say, like I wasn't paying attention to him or something, but when really he had all my focus was on him. Everything I did, I made sure he was taken care of first.
Our lives was around him. He was the center of all of our lives, so everything we did had to center around him.
Well, I have a therapist that I see, she's good at helping me deal with my emotions and my feelings. I still haven't accepted it. And it's how do you accept that? My therapist, she says, you'll accept it when you're ready. And I guess I'm just not ready. I guess the year wasn't long enough for me to accept it.
She's doing better now with accepting it, because that's where it all, where it starts. You have to accept it. And I think it's been hard for her And with her not having the answers as to why and what really happened is something very hard to deal with.
That's one of the hardest things to deal with, is telling people when they ask you how the baby is, what happened. It gets to you mentally, and it just brings all those emotions and feelings like right back.
I don't know, there's just no words really that can explain that loss, but I think what helped us the most is having so much love and support that we were given, and it was just like from every which way.
I got my tattoo. It's a picture of him with like a red blanket over his face. It was one of his Christmas pictures. And then I got mommy's angel under it because that's my angel. It was, I don't know, what's what I really wanted.
Me, her, and her brother all went together. They turned out well, better than I expected, so I'm happy. I went through the most, of course, because I got the double tattoo of my sister and my grandson. He's always going to be in our heart. You can't go anywhere in my house without seeing him, of course, so he'll always be here with us.